So to go to recent current events, just yesterday, there was a news report that the mayor, Dave Bing, who's a former NBA star and a businessman who's treating the city like his business and cutting.
Sounds familiar. Hi, Mayor Bloomberg. I'm just saying. Yeah.
I used to live in New York for a few years. I know what's up. He got tow trucks moving around the clock all day, every day. But look, this mayor, Dave Bing, he's working with this superintendent named Robert Bob. So we call him Bing and Bob. So what Bing and Bob are doing now, they have just announced yesterday they are shutting down 45 more public schools. And I say more because in the last 2 years they've shut over 150 public schools and laid off thousands of Detroit Public Schools employees. So now you have 45 schools that have been announced. One of them, and I mentioned our urban agricultural movement in Detroit, is one of the fastest growing. Since I think 15 years ago, there's a high school called Catherine Ferguson Academy. It's one of the few high schools in the country that is all for teen mothers. They have a farm in their backyard, and the students are mostly, teen mothers, and they have a child care in the school. They actually learn how to, nurture and grow living things by growing their own garden plot in the backyard of the school. And they have a really innovative approach to learning, and they have like a 95 percentile of graduation, going on to college, all that. This is one of the schools on the 45 schools starting to be shut down. Why? Bing and Bob. This is what they're doing to us. And on top of that, David Bing has proposed what he's called a right-sizing plan, which is really a downsizing plan. He's proposing that dozens of neighborhoods, which he claims to be underpopulated, will be through eminent domain, which is a legal way of displacing people, just like, Jay-Z, who I like as a rapper, but, he owns the Nets, and the Nets just displaced a big part of Brooklyn through eminent domain, and I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. And what's going on in Detroit right now is that he is planning, the mayor, David Bing, is planning to move Detroiters out of dozens of neighborhoods, contain them in other neighborhoods, and he's using eminent domain to do that, like legal ways to push people and displace people and really forcefully kick them out of where they live, and with very little explanation of what that land will be used for, probably for his, whatever corporate,
high rises and whatnot.
We actually don't know. I mean, some of it, like for example, we have an urban agricultural movement, and there's this corporate investor dude named Hans, who lives in the one rich neighborhood in Detroit, Indian Village, and so he proclaims himself as a Detroiter, but what he's doing is not in the interest of any Detroiters, which is, a majority under the poverty line city, and he is planning to co-opt the grassroots urban agricultural movement and build commercial farms that are essentially plantations